Om. Sairam, everyone. So we are going to specific instructions given by Swami for all spiritual aspirants. Swami has mainly focused on the pitfalls which we can fall into in the path of spirituality, and he is giving very specific guidelines as to how we should conduct our daily life. I think the last one which we looked at was how we should walk along a street with our eyes focused on the road ahead of us and not be distracted by other sights. And so I think that's where we were. So I will ask Sister Kalyani to read on. Sairam, Sister Kalyani.
44. If you desire to cultivate one-pointedness, do not, when in a crowd or bazaar, scatter your vision to the four corners and on everything, but see only the road in front of you, just enough to avoid accidents to yourself. One-pointedness will become firmer if one moves about without taking one's attention off the road, avoiding dangers and not casting eyes on others' forms.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sister. I think we read and I think we partially discussed it. We are starting with this point again. Swami is very, very particular about our eyes, where we look, and each new sight will trigger that many number of thoughts. So if anyone has anything to say, please share. Swami wants us to cultivate one-pointedness, and in small things, if we achieve it in life, we can always progress well. Saira. I guess if it's okay, Sister Kalyan, you can move on. If anyone has comments, they will anyway come back. Saira.
45. Give up all doubts regarding the Guru and God. If your worldly desires do not get fulfilled, do not blame it on your devotion. There is no relationship between such desires and devotion to God. These worldly desires have to be given up some day or other. Bhakti feelings have to be acquired some day or other. Be firmly convinced of this.
Okay, so it's one of the most critical things, I guess, in our lives or in the path of devotion. Once we start doubting God based on our failures in the material world, or the desires which we had, or things which we did not get fulfilled, or things didn't go as we hoped they would have gone, we right away think, okay, God has left us. He has not taken care of us. So this is the standard problem which everyone who embarks on the path of devotion has. And I think Swami is just warning us about it, because he says your worldly success or failures are not dependent on devotion, and they are rather independent. So I think that's what Swami wants us to pay attention to. So I will stop here. And participants are welcome to share your thoughts, please. Simon.
Sairam. So I think the rest of them are keeping silence. So let me open my mouth and say a few words here. Even though my points are towards the paragraph 44 and the 45 itself. The 44 is we were talking about the one-pointedness. The one-pointedness, my understanding is, so we have born in this world and we should have a sense of purpose in life. So what is the sense of purpose? We came from God and we had to reach God. So the thing is, So if Swami has elaborately discussed things like what are the functions of each of our limbs. So in the previous paragraph, Arno was mentioning about the look, that we shouldn't be looking some other directions and we can't be going forward or wherever we want to go. So we should have a sense of purpose in life. That is the most important thing. And then also about this doubt. That's a killing part. If we have a doubt in the Guru or the God, it's like we are distracted from that path, whatever we want to reach. That's my understanding on that. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Sai Ram, anyone else would like to share your thought, please?
Sai Ram. Regarding point 45, I think most of the devotees, if not all, at the beginning come to Swami to solve their worldly problems, and mostly that happened. But when Swami also has said, I give you what you ask for, so that eventually you will ask for what I have come to give. So here Swami says that worldly desires have nothing to do with your devotion. So when that, so even Swami says that at the beginning I give you your worldly desires, whether it's curing disease or anything. So when the change or the turning point from worldly desires to pure devotion, so that how we evolve or progress to that change. So that might be a difficult turning point. So I would say how to evolve ourselves to grow to that level. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, brother. Anyone else would like to share your thoughts, please?
Sai Ram, when I look at the paragraph 45, the first two sentences catch my eyes, and I agree with give up all doubts regarding the Guru and God. And the second sentence, Yildi, I have a different point of view, or Yildi, my understanding. Swami, there's an interesting point on this second sentence is, if your worldly desires do not get fulfilled, do not blame it on your devotion. Swami doesn't say do not blame it on your Guru or God. Swami is telling us do not blame it on your devotion. So when I look at this one, maybe, even if I don't have maybe the sufficient devotion, or even if I don't reach that, the really complete devotion, when I look at this one, the devotee may be thinking that, oh, okay, my devotion is all right, but Swami has told us, even even if your desires or whatever worldly, or even it could be a spiritual desires too, if those desires are not fulfilled, don't worry about, you have a very complete devotion or something. So when I look at this one, I thought in my mind there must be an interesting point why Swami said do not blame on your devotion, because I always think my devotion is not that great, or it's not that to the point. I should have given that devotion to the God or Swami or whatever my chosen deity. If that point is cleared, it would be appreciated. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, sister. So you're asking whether spiritual desires are an issue. Is that the question?
Thank you. That's my worldly desires. I understand that we shouldn't take that. But when it comes to the spiritual desires, that's my major question in here. Thank you, Saira.
Can you elaborate on that? If you can give some specific examples, sister, it will be helpful for everyone.
For an example, I don't do any puja or meditation or whatever the Swami's teaching on the devotion also. I may not follow as the way Swami has given us the advice or instruction, but but normally, we all, always think, even I do meditate every day, maybe morning and the evening, it doesn't come to me at all, even at this age, maybe 70 or 80 or 90, even if I practice everything and my full devotion to Swami, why this meditation doesn't come to me, even if I have the devotion, but even in this COVID time, maybe we also discussed another time, I am an ardent devotee of Swami and I have given my 100% devotion to Swami, but I am really suffering, my better half has been taken away from me, and this kind of, the things, I wouldn't say that's our fully worldly desires. Even in the spiritual path, that's my elaboration on this one. Even if I completely devoted myself, my spiritual desires are not get fulfilled. But Swami says that do not blame it on your devotion. Then where I can correct myself or improve myself. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, sister, thank you very much. I will open it up for anyone to comment on this question, please.
So Sairam, brother, so in my opinion is what I understood is we have to control our senses. So in order to do that one, we are participating in the satsang. So we are the who we are meeting the people, association is very important. So that culture will build up within us. If you participate in some other activities, then you'll get that culture. So you are in the right path. Even the participating in the satsang like this, your mind will be controlled. The mind is the important thing. Otherwise, if you are attached to the worldly thing, mind will run away from you. So then you always try to satisfy the five senses. So just like a simple thing, that's what in Kali Yuga is very difficult to control. That's what Swami says always, simple sadhana, like a namaswaranam, that will build up you. You don't need to do a big thing, nothing. Just love the people. The love supposed to start with at your home. That love supposed to be spread all over the place. That's what is a light meditation, what we are doing. If you look at the light meditation, that will teach you everything. This is very simple sadhana. So as far as if you do whatever the Baba is saying, behave according to that, your mind will come to a control, then you can achieve the goal. At least even whoever doing that one, at least you will be underneath the Baba's umbrella. If you don't reach some level, at least he will be protected under that umbrella. He always there. Sairam, brother.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share anything, please?
Sairam, I want to add a point here. I really appreciate Sister Aruna's point, like how she how her eagerness and the enthusiasm to reach God, because she shows that in her actions on a daily life, on a daily basis, evenings and mornings and evenings, and she goes to work, and in between she is thinking, and her discussion even in the previous times that shows her devotion towards the God. I really appreciate that. But my point on this one is, say we are cooking something, that when you are cooking, say one day that whatever the curry, the dish that we make come out to be right. Second day maybe a little bit better. Third day, like then on, it gradually after certain days you are expert. You become an expert in that. You don't have to look where is the salt, where is the other things, but you simply throw things into your dish and the food becomes nice and delicious. So same way that as Swami mentioned, we shouldn't be blaming our devotion. We still have to be build a strong faith in God. That is my understanding on this one. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share your thoughts, please?
There's a message in the chat box.
Yeah, please read, sister.
So Brother Sitaram says, in chapter 2, Swami very categorically says, the only desire which is approved for an aspirant to have is to get liberation / attain God. Probably that can be categorized as spiritual desire. Rest all fall apart as worldly desires. Sairam.
Yeah. So I think the question is related to that one. I think Sister Ananti says that if we are not making progress and if things are not taking, supportive, conducive for our sadhana, what can we blame it on? What should we do? I think that's a question. Because Swami has not addressed it here. Swami has only talked about worldly things. But I think there are two things. I think maybe earlier on we would have read in Sandeha Nivarini. Swami says there are two things which are necessary for spiritual progress. One is perseverance. The second one, Swami says, is patience. So I think sometimes we may be disappointed with the rate at which we progress, or things may not be conducive around us. And I think those are part of the challenge, the path, the spiritual path. Again, as Brother Arun has said, or Brother Dasan has said, we should just hold on to our faith, and the Swami will take care of it, the Guru will take care of it. As long as our faith and trust and conviction is strong, we can proceed. Those are hurdles which we have to grow in the as part of the sadhana, I guess. That's what I understand. Sister, I don't think, I think that's the doubt. I think only Swami can clear. I'm sure you will find the answer somewhere along the way in Sandeha Nivarini. Saira.
Sairam, brother. I just wanted to say something in this 45, the paragraph number 45. It tells you when the worldly desires are not fulfilled, then whatever the devotion you have, you shouldn't doubt on your devotion. That's what I am getting from this sentence. I don't know, I'm right. I'm thinking my thinking is right, but that's the way I understand from that word. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, sister, Sairam. Thank you.
Sairam, I guess just one other thought. So Swami saying the worldly, there's no relationship between such desires and devotion. So maybe even how much we're able to meditate or like control our anger or like all of those sort of spiritual goals, maybe even those things are kind of determined by our past karma. So maybe even in this whole life, we may not be able to meditate properly for, you know, certain whatever. We're not, maybe never reach that goal of being able to meditate, but maybe that's not the point. Even if we don't reach that goal, at least as long as we're trying and we have devotion, maybe that's what's important. And I don't know if this is completely relevant, but I did hear something on Radio Sai where we always say, if you take one step towards Swami, he takes 100 steps towards you. But those 100 steps towards you, they are invisible steps. So it may feel like we're not progressing or we're not moving, but I think if we keep trying and we keep like putting at least one foot in front of the other, we know Swami's coming closer and closer to us until one day we bump into him.
Thank you very much, Kalyani. Thank you.
Yes, I like the thoughts, because that's what my understanding also. Devotion is nothing to compare with your worldly desires. Worldly desires, sometimes you won't have anything. You're going through so much pain, but nothing to doubt on your devotion. You continue with your devotion. That's my understanding here. Thank you, Sairam.
Whatever we are doing, praying or that meditation, everything that we are doing with not expectation. Swami always says that you do your duty, I will do my duty. Then don't doubt about the Swami's divinity. Always we do our duty, then Swami do that his way. And there are some experience that one time that you know everything that old cinema actor that Anjali Devi, she was asking Swami that she wanted to take a film about Swami's life story. Then Swami said, wait. Then after some time, she forgot about everything. And after 17 years, Swami hold himself and told her that this is the time you go and take the picture, that film. That Swami's time is different than that our time. Sometimes it's Swami right away, sometimes not. We have to wait. Swami always, Swami never denied that. Always we had to wait for that. And another occasion, that one interview that Anjali, same person's son was applying for the doctor's college. It was rejected. He was very painful, and one time they went for the interview. Swami was asking him, "What are you doing?" Then he was saying that, "Swami, I am waiting for my studies." Swami said, "Go and ask the school, that particular school, and get the admission, and you will get the admission there." That way he got admission, and he is a doctor in America right now. And this is the way Swami is saying that our devotion is always firm, because only we have that, the foundation is always, we have the belief that the neighbors, unshakable belief is the foundation of our devotion. We cannot shake our devotion any kind of time. Always Swami is right. Please, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, brother. Sairam, Sister Anandi, I think you may still not be satisfied with the answer come by. To some extent, I think Sister Kalyani has already talked about karma. The thing is, because the impact of our own karma in the past can have some effect, and it may be difficult for us to break through that, because our karma will be the result of the environment in which we are placed. I think Sister Anandi's question was, if you want to do meditate, and if I'm unable to find the circumstances, the environment, and the time to meditate, and the support to meditate, then what do I do? That's the difficulty. I think that was an example she had given. It's a reality, sister, that in life, sometimes what we wish to do, even as form of sadhana, may not be available to us right away. But I think through our prayers and persistence, one day, maybe after, as brothers, some of the brothers have said, After many years, maybe we will get that opportunity. But I think the striving is the only thing which we can do, and have firm faith that God will help us, or Swami will help us. Sai Ram. I think we will move on to the next point if everyone is okay.
Thank you so much for all of your input on this one. And the personally, I will take these as Swami's words, and I will try to stick with whatever the advisors say. Everybody's point are beautiful points on this one, and I really appreciate. Thank you so much, Saira.
Sai Ram, sister.
Sai Ram, it is also worth noticing this Swami sentence here. The worldly desires have to be given up someday or the other. Bhakti feelings have to be acquired someday or other. This is very important sentence to my knowledge. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, brother. Thanks for pointing it out. Thanks. Okay, Sister Kalyani, I think you can go on. If anyone has, I think I'm sure they will discuss.
46.
Yes.
If your dhyanam or japam do not progress properly, or if the desires you have entertained do not come to fruition, do not get dispirited with God. It will dispirit you even more, and you will lose the peace, however small or big, that you might have earned. During dhyanam and japam, you should not be dispirited, desperate, or discouraged. When such feelings come, take it that it is the fault of your sadhana, and endeavor to do them correctly.
Okay, thank you very much, sister. I think Sister Ananti's question may be answered a bit here in this point, where Swami is asking us to not lose our spirit in our sadhana because we are not seeing progress the way we would like the progress to be. And he wants us to persist further. Those are the things which I can sort of understand. I will open it up for participants to comment. Share your thoughts, please. Sai.
Truly speaking, I didn't even look at the first paragraph of 46. So I just, I thought Swami has given me the instant answer in first paragraph of 46. You know, even the dhyana or the jabam, the description or the example, I just took myself. And when I look at this first paragraph, I thought Swami is listening every word we discuss in this study circle, and instantly he gave us some sort of the explanation right in there, the paragraph. I'm really very still with this answer. The Swami is really watching what we discuss and what we are getting from this study circle. Loving Saira.
Sister, anyone else would like to share your thoughts, please?
In the chat box, Brother Sitaram says he is the one who planted the Sandeha also, I guess.
Swami always says his talks and his writings are like conversations. They are not talks, because they are done in such a way that when we read the full text or listen to the full discourse, he will guide us through our own mental conversations with him, so that we gain from that. And each of our conversations could be different too. And that is the best thing about studying Swami's literature. Saira. Anyone else would like to share your thoughts, please?
To Brother Arno's point, I also want to share my view, share my point here. Like one time Swami was having a discourse, and there were other people, like news media people, came in for that particular event, and they were atheists. And some of them were atheists. They came up with a page full of questions. And then after Swami gave them the lecture, and Swami asked them, hey, anybody wants to ask any questions, any doubts kind of thing? Nobody didn't ask any questions, because on Swami's discourse, every questions were answered in the discourse. Like Brother Arno was mentioning, Swami knows everything. He knows our mental, what we are thinking. So he's God. So that's exactly what he's telling. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, brother. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts, please? Okay, if not, sister, please read on.
It is only when in your daily conduct and in all actions you automatically behave and act in this manner and along these lines that you can attain the divine principle very easily. Therefore, hold on to these maxims firmly. Chew and digest these spoken sweets distributed on the birthday festival of your Swami, and be happy. Have you understood?
Swami is distributing and then asking whether we are eating it. I think if we follow these 6 points daily, if we read, remind ourselves and remember it at all times, we should not have any worry about our spiritual progress. Every single word in spirit and in letter, if we practice, there's nothing better we need by way of upadesham or advice from Swami. I will pause here, and if anyone has anything to say, please add.
Sai Ram, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So in the 46, the latter part, during dhyanam and japam, you should not be dispirited, desperate or discouraged. When such feelings come, take it that it is the fault of your sadhana and endeavor to do them correctly. So what is the fault? So to me, I have the answer. So he said, even Brother Arno has said earlier in other days, that ahara and vihara, our food through mouth and our vihara, other activities, recreation. Through our recreation, we entertain thoughts through the eye, ear, nose, and everything. So the fault could be our food habits. Food habits through the mouth or through the 5 organs. And also, so that from there that we can, if we improve that part, then the dhyana and japam is likely to go smoothly. And also, in other study circle material, the English study circle material, Baba once said, meditation is a mental excursion. So it is done through the mind and it is a mental excursion. So one may not be successful in dhyan or whatever it is, but these are all mental excursions, Baba has said in some other places. So for a person, dhyanam and japam may not be the right spiritual discipline. For some others, it could be, and for some others, it could be different. For example, I think that the Brother Arnold's life, we can see that dedicated service, love on Swami, and dedicated service. So so the spiritual discipline could be varied and suiting to the temperament of the people and the maturity, etc., etc. So this is just my observation, and I believe that you get what I am trying to say. Thank you, Saira.
Yes, so Saram brother, here the Su and digest is spoken sweet distributed on the birthday festival. So you always talk about all the time about the mango. So if, for an example, if someone saying about the mango is available in particular mango, very sweet and honey is available, came to the store, then you wanted to go and buy that because you had that feeling that about the particular mango. So then you are so happy to hear the words. That's what we are in the study circle and everything. We are getting knowledge. So we going to the store and we're looking at the mango, oh so beautiful and everything. You are so happy again. So you buy the mango and you bringing the mango home, washing the mango, and you are eating the mango. Now the mango is absorbed in your body. Same thing like that. When you are participating, when you are going to the bhajan, when you are doing the dhyana and everything, you are learning. You are learning. Once you learn, once you come to the level, many people, I've seen many people, they have experience looking at the God. They can see the God. They can hear the God. They can listen to the God talking. They can compose songs. They can see, when they look at the people, they can get messages from those God. They are, even now, they are doing the regular duty. They are not like meditating or sadhu or anything. They are like us. They are. I've seen 7 or 8 people, 10 people in Canada. So they are Swami given some power also for the devotees. They can do the materialize, they can do take vibhuti, they can do lingam from the mouth, they can take the lingam from the hand. So this is once you achieve that one, after like seeing the mango, you are after you eating, you absorb the thing. Same thing like you are seeing that one, you are participating everything. Then once you see everything, you should not stop there. You should not cultivate more and more until you with the God. So once you with the God, there's no difference with the God and you. That is the one I think he's showing, talking about the Su and digest the spoken sweet distributed. So we are coming here to learn, and I can see I learn a lot of things after this one, after this study circle. I'm learning every day. So then we had to cultivate from that, because now we have interest how to see God, how to talk to him, how to achieve at least some levels. So thank you, brother.
Sairam. Anyone else would like to share your thoughts, please?
Sairam, brother, can you please, I didn't understand the word of dispirited. I understand the desperate or discouraged, but what is the meaning of dispirited here? You shouldn't be dispirited. I'm just thinking about that. The paragraph number 46.
Yes,
Thank you.
dispirited, desperate, and discouraged. Swami has used 3 words. You're asking about them, sister?
Yes, please. The dispirited only I'm trying to understand. What is Swami trying to say with that word? I didn't get it really. Thanks, Saira.
Okay, we will ask the audience what they think, and I will come back.
It is less enthusiasm, less interest. The interest is not enough, or the feelings is not conducive. Less enthusiasm, that is that we can say dispirited. More spiritful means more enthusiastic, and dispirited is less enthusiastic, lethargy or laziness or something like that.
Anyone else would like to share your thoughts, please?
Hi Ram brother, Is it the word comes from spirit and
Yeah, that's the thing.
this spirit means like
Yeah,
we are moving
spiritual.
towards an unspirit way.
Okay, Swami has used three Telugu words. They are Visugu, Virakti, Nirutsaham. I think Sitaram, you are there, I guess. So we have someone with some Telugu knowledge. Visugu means irritation. Okay. Virakti means in Tamil we can say varuppu. You just you disenchantment. You don't. You get frustrated. One is irritation. One is frustration. The other one is Swami says nirutsaham, which is lack of motivation. So we can get irritated, we can get frustrated, and we can get lose motivation. So those are the three things which Swami is talking about. I hope. Anyway, any feeling in our mind which makes us give up our sadhana, I guess, would fall under one of the three categories. Anyone would like to share any thoughts, please?
Sai Ram, so in other words, Swami is saying Dhyanam or Jabam should be conducted with full energy, full faith, and happy, all positive. We should be, yeah. Thank you, Sai.
Thank you, brother.
There was a comment earlier in the chat box from Brother Sitaram saying in the Telugu version there's another word, Parisilana, which means inquiry, which is missing here. Arun, brother, if you can read that and explain, this para will mean more to all of us. Sairam.
Sitaram, you have the Telugu version. Why don't you? Oh, I see, he doesn't have it. I think Sitaram is in the best position. Sitaram, if you can come online and read it, please, it will be much better. Which point is it? Okay, that is the last paragraph, I think. Swami is telling. Okay, I got it, Sitaram. It is sahaja pravartanula parisheelanamu. That's the word I guess you are saying. So what Swami is saying is we have to examine our real natural activities on a regular basis, and that is how in the last paragraph, it's only when in your daily conduct and in all actions you automatically behave and act in this manner. There Swami says we need to examine our actions in our daily life, and that is how we can attain the divine principle. So it's not only trying to practice, but also examining. Okay, so see, basically, I think this paragraph answers the question Sister Ananti has posed. If we find any issues with any of our sadhana, is my personal experience, we can always trace it to one of the points in this 46. If we encounter any hurdle, any slowdown, any impediment, if we read all these 46 again and mark where we are lacking, where we are not following, when we fix that, the problem goes away. So these 46 have to become like our everyday Bible. We need to know it by heart. And whenever we have a problem which we are facing in our spiritual path, if we go back, we will definitely find one or two which will help us overcome those hurdles. Or not immediately maybe, but we will know, we will be able to identify, okay, this is the problem, let me work on this, then the Lord will help me further. So I think that's what Swami says. In every act of ours, we have to examine them against these 46 gems. And that way, Swami says, is assuring that you can attain the divine principle very easily. So this chapter is one of the best, which needs to be read again and again on a regular basis by all of us, and it will have all the answers for any spiritual hurdles. Thank you very much. Those are my observations. I will ask others to share, please. Saira.
So, brother, so if we are participating, whatever is mentioned before too, if we are participating in this satsang, it's a big sadhana. Then if you have peace, it's a big sadhana. If you are building up love with others and everyone, it's a big sadhana. You are in the right track. Only thing, we have to build up faith and patience. Because some people, they give up, oh, this is very difficult. Baba said three kind, I can remember. One, some people, they give up. Some people in the middle, if they didn't achieve anything, it takes some time, whatever you all mentioned, they give up to. The third group, whatever it comes, they will continue whatever Baba was teaching. They are the right people, whatever Baba said. So we have to be happy that whoever, even without Baba's will, we cannot step into the Sai Center or even temple. We cannot step into the study cycle even. It's everything's Baba's blessing. Thank you, brother. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, brother. Sai Ram. Anyone else has something to say? Otherwise, we will move on. Okay, Sai Ram. Sister Kalyani, you could read on, please.
Bhakta, your words are like Amrita, divine nectar, Swami. Yes, Amrita. In all these ordinary dealings of life, man does not know the road. He follows the wrong track. There are no books also to tell him the means of a happy journey. For all such strugglers like me, what you have said is prana, the very breath. We are indeed blessed. Bless me that these words get imprinted on my heart and are realized and practiced every day. There is no good in simply listening or reading them. It is only when your grace accompanies them that we get strength. I shall take leave, Swami. Swami, all right. Go and come for the birthday festival. There are just 7 more days, isn't it? Today is 16th. Birthday is on the 23rd. So there are 7 days left. Till that time, let this sweetness fill and overflow your heart.
Thank you very much, sister. So Swami is once again stressing on the importance of these daily life instructions of Swami through the mouth of the bhakta or devotee. That's all I can say. Swami says, the devotee himself said these words should get imprinted in our hearts, this is more than enough manual for our spiritual progress, is what I understand. Sai Ram, I will open it up for participants to comment or share your thoughts, please. Sai Ram. I guess it's okay, Sister Kalyani, we can read on. I think we have all discussed and I think it's okay. Everyone understands. Sai Ram.
Chapter 8. Swami, oh, how is this? You have come so early this time? Bhakta, you made me come and so I have come. Is there anything I can call mine? Swami, that is true. But will even a scrap of paper move without some cause? So too, for you to come so early, there must be some reason. Bhakta. Nothing else, Swami. Hearing that you are proceeding to Trivandrum on the 16th itself at the invitation of Sri Ramakrishna Rao, the governor of Kerala, I felt that I may not get much chance to speak to you if I come on that day only. So I came now. Excuse me.
Okay. So I'll pause here. We can see Swami, through these words, Swami is talking about the earnestness and the urgency which devotee should show in proceeding with the path of the Lord. We have to take that extra initiative which this devotee is showing in this action. We have to start early. The earlier we go, the better it looks like. No, we should not delay. We should not wait for another day. The earlier we do it, the better it is. Saira. I will stop here. If anyone has any thoughts to share, please go ahead. Okay, sister, move on, please.
Swami, that is well done. But why do you ask that I should pardon you? Really speaking, one should not ask for pardon, even when one commits wrong. Then what is the fun of asking for it when you have done the right thing? Bhakta. Why, Swami? Why should we not ask for pardon when we commit wrongs? Swami. No, you must not ask either for pardon when wrong is done or for reward when right is done. Doing right is but man's duty. It is its own reward. What other reward can there be? The joy of having done one's duty is your reward. Doing wrong is against the duty of man. So one should pray repentingly for the intelligence and discrimination necessary for not repeating the wrong already committed. Beyond this, it depends on His grace whether He punishes and protects or pardons and corrects.
Sairam, it's a very nice set of. I think it's pretty straightforward for everyone to understand. Swami is telling us what our attitude should be when we do something wrong and what our attitude should be when we do something right. There's nothing much for me to elaborate here, I guess. I will just ask members to share your thoughts or comments.
Sairam, saying sorry or pardon is very common. So actually, Baba is trying to say is, it's saying sorry, okay, but are we repenting for the mistake we did? So it depends on the repentance for the wrong committed, so that we will not repeat it. So that is one point here Baba is saying, and also at the same time, when don't expect the reward when right is done. So when we are doing good things, we should not expect any reward. But by chance, if we made a mistake, we have to repent so deeply so that that mistake is not repeated. So that's the point Baba, it looks Baba is trying to tell us. That is my small understanding. Thank you, Saira.
Sai Ram, thank you. Anyone else would like to share your thoughts, please?
Sai Ram, I have a kind of a question here. Say, for instance, two kids are playing around, and then one kid hit the other one. So the mother tells the kid, "Oh, hey, you shouldn't be hitting that other child. Ask him sorry." That's the way we are all teaching our children. Even in the courts, like somebody, he is a criminal and he realizes it, and he's asking for pardon from the judge. Judge realizes, okay, judge, so this guy has learned, or inadvertently he has learned he had done a mistake, and then the judge pardons him. Okay, instead of 5 years, I'll let you go for 3 years only. So why Swami is saying this in a different way, that we should be getting pardoned? Or say we say something, our mouth slips, and we say right away, we say excuse me, because we say something offensive to the other person. So how come Swami is saying it is up to the God to decide things and he will pardon other things? How this, in a general word, how this could be acceptable? I don't understand. Thank you, Saira.
So Sai Ram, brother, if someone used the hard word against to someone, how you can get it back? How you can say sorry? So I need to know. You cannot say sorry for that, because you have to know what to talk, what to, the purpose of the tongue and everything. So in that case, you cannot even withdraw the words, whatever the words you talk. I don't know.
Thank you very much, brother. Anyone else has something to say?
I wonder if there's a difference between apologizing and, admitting to someone that you are wrong versus asking for pardon. Where I feel like asking for pardon means you're asking for their forgiveness.
Actually, sorry. Pardon is, you are correct.
So the thing is, see, Swami is, asking for pardon is actually apologizing. Saying sorry is also apologizing of sort. The thing is, in our normal day, this is my understanding, okay? See, in our daily life, we do something wrong, and then we tell people, I am sorry. We really don't mean it, because Swami wants us to do it in action. Because from, as Brother Arun said, from childhood we are taught, the children are taught, go say sorry, say excuse me. The children think that's good enough. They will say, oh, sorry, it's an accident, and they keep on doing it. So they think if you do something wrong, just say pardon is good enough. That is, accounts are squared. So that is a habit which all of us have also evolved with. So Swami is actually putting a stop to that. He says, if you're really sorry, show it in your action. Don't repeat it. If someone cannot do it, they don't really mean what they're saying. They become what I call empty words. So that is what I think Swami is stressing. Because what happens is the same thing. When we do something good also, we expect a reward. And the person who took the reward will say thank you. And they think that's good enough. They don't even necessarily show the gratitude in their action. So I think Swami wants us to go beyond just mere words, because words may be okay, because I think the common courtesy in the modern day world demands that. But I think Swami says that's not okay. You have to show it in action. I think that's the point which Swami is trying to stress here, I think. That's my take, but I will open it up for anyone to discuss. Saira.
Sairam, if I can add to brother's point, what is more important than saying sorry is feeling and correcting without making that mistake again. That is what Swami is asking, to pray him to guide us so that we don't repeat the mistake. So it's like a feeling or a regret and moving on with doing correct things. Sairam, I thought I mentioned this. Sairam.
Sairam, it's a very interesting point. I looked at in the first sentence. Okay, we can avoid in this first word, Swami is telling that no sorry, no thank you. And we have already discussed in Didi, we should avoid sorry by saying sorry because we have to try our best to do the right thing. And thank you also, Swami is telling that either you shouldn't say thank you, but in your action you have to, give that thank you to the other person. Because I still remember that one day Brother Arul told me that Sister Anandi, don't say thank you, and I didn't really understand why he is telling that. I thought he is telling that I shouldn't say thank you to him, but now I understand that where is his point, because Swami is telling that no, don't say thank you in Swami's work, and you show your gratitude in actions. That's the one I got it from the first sentence. Thank you, Sairam.
So relevant point, I have a question here. In a particular situation, say we have some sort of an argument or kind of something not right happening. That particular the actions comes after that. They say if you don't say sorry, the other person thinks, oh, this guy didn't even apologize. But the actions after that, repenting on it, and then you correct ourselves, comes later. But how do you specify that particular immediate situation? That is my question. Say if I hit somebody and right away I don't know, because of my temper I hit somebody. That particular instance, I had to say sorry. Otherwise, what is the other guy is going to think this guy is very rude and that sort of a person. But the part that I'm trying to understand is after that effect, or I correct myself, oh, I did something wrong, I should be correcting myself in the future, I shouldn't have been hot-tempered like that, sort of a thing. How do we handle that particular situations then? Thank you, Sarah.
Sahara, actually we should not take literally, here. The literally, I think as Brother Arno already pointed out, in this present world, these formalities are there. That's Baba is not asking us to stop that one, but he's trying. Baba is making us try to understand this. Sorry, 100 times sorry in a day will not make any good. So it could be one day. It could be one day I say I am sorry. I'm very sorry. My dear, I didn't understand that. I made a mistake. I thought this way. This is my mistake. Like that. Explain it. That's okay. But the real part is we have to correct ourselves very seriously, not to repeat things like that. That is more important thing. And also you said about the judge pardoning. That judge pardoning is different entirely. Because the judge pardons, that is pardon is given. That's when the person is realizing and understanding his mistake and everything. And also Brother Aruno said that thank you when we do a good thing and other person say thank you. That is also mechanically going on in the present day. Thank you. But what we have to do, this person did a good thing for me, so I have to keep this in my mind, and when the right time comes, pay back to that person. Or if another person is in the same situation, at least pay back that to the other person, another person entirely. So the gratefulness, being gratefulness is saying I am grateful to you, it doesn't make any sense. We have to work for work out. We have to work for it. For example, Baba is saying in the Sai students, when they leave, they say, "Oh, thank you, and I am grateful," and everything. Baba is saying, no, do it in your action. The gratefulness should be shown in your action. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to share it. Sorry. Thank you.
Sairam, brother, thank you. I just wanted to point out another thing, because sometimes when we say sorry or we ask for pardon, apologize, we actually don't want to experience the negative consequences of that action. We think by doing that, we have avoided bearing the consequences of that action. Okay, that's why Swami says, the last paragraph, last sentence, punishing, protecting, pardoning, or correcting is all in the hands of God.
Yeah.
So sometimes we think we have done something really wrong. We say, sorry, I'm very sorry, I'm really sorry, or I apologize. We beg for pardon, and we hope against hope, that our actions don't fructify, bear fruit. Because that's what Swami is telling. You cannot avoid the consequences or the results of your action. And that's for God to decide. And He will decide and He will dispense. Not necessarily for our detriment, but so that through those actions, He actually wants us to grow closer to Him. I think that's what Swami is saying. We can say or do anything we want, but I think that sincerity is important. Sister Aruna, okay. Okay, Sairam, anyone else would like to share any thoughts, please?
Simon, I think here Swami, no, in the final sentence he says depend whatever to punish or pardon or protect, it all depends on God. So I think Swami didn't say, that's what my understanding, maybe I'm wrong. He didn't say, don't say pardon or sorry to the other person. I think he didn't mean that. So the word sorry is not even there. He says, don't ask pardon from the God for whatever wrong you did, or don't expect any reward from God for whatever good you did. That depends on God, and to punish, reward, or protect also depends on God. So in the normal mundane life, I think Swami didn't mean you hit some person, you shouldn't say sorry. You had to say sorry. I think Swami didn't mean that. That's my understanding. Simon.
Thank you very much, brother. A very valid point. It was not stressed by us. Thank you for bringing it out. Thank you.
Sir, this conversation between the devotee and the Swami saying that himself, that talking about himself, that don't say sorry to me, that you have to change yourself. That's enough for me. That's why I'm saying that. That's the meaning is there, I guess. That the present world, that we can use that decision, and that's what I am thinking. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you.
So,
Sairam, okay. Kalyani, you want to say something?
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I think I agree, Brother Vimalesan and Brother Rajagopal's statement. Everyday life, we did something wrong. We had to say sorry and thing. But Swami's way, he's expecting. One more thing, I am thinking nowadays people do something and say sorry to Swami too. And also they do lots of things to people, simply say sorry too. That is also not acceptable. Sometimes people say, I am saying, this is humbly I am saying, but that is the statement. When we look at it, there is no humble in it. The words we are using, that use the word like that, sorry and thing, but that is whatever they want to do, they want to speak, then after that they say sorry. That is not acceptable. Sairam.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you.
Sairam, I would like to add one more point. Maybe that's come to my mind. So, no, particularly Swami says in the last sentence, beyond this, it depends on His grace whether He punishes, protects, pardons, corrects, etc. Because I think, say, two persons commit the same wrong or same, but it depends on God. He might punish or pardon both differently, because in all their life they are, what they have been living like is extremely very different. So considering those, this same wrong might be treated by God, Swami, differently. That's my understanding, Sai.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sairam, brother. Here, one more thing I wanted to add. Here, the thank you, sorry, we have to differentiate between the worldly and the spiritual side. Whatever worldly, you will get pardon. Sometime you won't get pardon in spiritual side of it. Swami, there is a, as Swami said, there is a, Swami has to decide whether he is going to punish or pardon that. So we have to have a clear understanding in this paragraph, as Swami is trying to say, worldly is something different. This is the spirituality side, what you do. You have to see that is, it's always, it's up to the God to decide. That's my understanding on this. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, sister. Thank you.
Sairam, brother. So we all supposed to understand we are the puppets. Vayapula is the God. So you do your work and everything, and the action of the fruit is not yours. Same thing, everything going to be recorded. Whether that person is pardoned or anything, that for the self-satisfaction, but everything going to be recorded in our karma list. Thank you, Sairam, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sairam, I guess one thing that kind of stood out to me in this paragraph is sometimes when I do something wrong or I lose my temper, I always kind of mull over it or keep thinking about it or keep, it just keeps going over and over in my head. And Swami is saying, don't ask for pardon. He's also saying in the last paragraph, one should pray repentingly for the intelligence and discrimination to not repeat the wrong. So he's saying, there's no point in looking backwards. So you should pray repentingly, but not repenting for what you already did, but just pray that you don't make the same mistake again in the future. So I think that's definitely something I took to heart.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you. Any other thoughts, please? So I think, from all these discussions, it's so clear that, see, the Sandeha Nivarini is all about what goes on between us and God. Because for Swami, nothing else, our interactions with the rest of the world is not handling that here. Everything is what do we do with God? As very clear, very nicely put by all the participants. Our accountability is only to God, ultimately. Because once you embark on the path of spirituality, you have to account for everything, every thought, word, and deed to God, and what it does to our progress towards God. And I think that's very amply, nicely discussed by every participant with this point. And I think it's a very valid thing for us to keep in mind. And it was wonderful to listen to everyone. Saira, thanks.
Sairam, there's also just one comment from Brother Sitaram, I think referring to the previous slide. I'll just quickly read it out. Just FYI for all, in reference to previous page mention of Sri Ramakrishna Rao, Dr. Burugula Ramakrishna Rao, 13 March 1899 to 15 September 1967, was the first elected chief minister of the erstwhile Hyderabad state. Prior to the independence of India and the political integration of the princely states into the Union, he was among the Telugu-speaking leaders to resist the Nizam in the princely state of Hyderabad. I thought Swami mentioning his name is an indicator for us to check his personality as a devotee also. His further details are available on Wikipedia, and Radio Sai also has a few articles on his association with Bhagawan. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sitaram. So maybe we will, it's 10:16. I think we have read enough today and discussed. I think there's so much for us to digest and ruminate over the next, as Swami said, for the next 7 days. Fill yourself with that Amrit. That's what Swami said in the previous chapter, last paragraph. So we have 7 more days for our next study circle, and we can spend time thinking about it rather than reading another new paragraph. It was wonderful to have. It was a very well discussed topics today. Thanks for everyone. I'm saying thank you. Maybe we should not tell thanks to Swami also, but it was wonderful and a wonderful study circle today. Sai Ram. We will close with Samasta Loka and Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram. Om Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram, everyone.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.